I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? And welcome to the channel. Come on in, everybody. I'm here, child, day 2. We are talking about it, okay? Martell and his transactional relationships, all right? I put a poll at the top of the chat. I hope all of you take it. Please hit the button, choose one. There's 3 choices. And we got some things to dive into, child. Right now, though, I do want to say hello to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome all of my new subscribers. I see you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. If you are not a subscriber, please become one by hitting the subscribe button right now. Then also, over here, I like to shout out where you guys are from. So if you want to put your city, state, country, island, wherever you are from into the chat, please do that. And I'll say hello to you right now. Okay, come on in. Come on in. Let's see. I also want to thank all of my moderators. Let me start there because listen, the moderators, they volunteer their time to be with us. So what's up, Cookie from the Shy? What's up, Cheryl the Pearl? Welcome, 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 okay? Anybody that you see with a wrench behind their name, because other moderators can come in later, just make sure that you follow their instruction. I'm okay with different opinions. I just ask that you keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we have to remember is that the people on this show sign a contract voluntarily to be there, okay? They can walk away at any time because they are all millionaires. So they can walk away from this shit at any time. If they choose to be there, that's cool. TV, it's supposed to be entertaining. Drama, we're going to talk about it, all right? Y'all see the scroll at the bottom of the screen. It says, this is a discussion about, current events, reviews, keys, all the things, all right? So they don't mind that we talk about it. I mean, talk about them. I'm not sure why we mind. Some of us mind that we talk about them, but they don't mind. They shouldn't anyway. Let's see, Newark. What's up, Newark, New Jersey? What's up, Columbus? Let's see, Diana, what's up, what's up, what's up? Who else do we have? DC in the house. Welcome, welcome. Shreveport, Louisiana, Philly. Little Rock, Arkansas, what's up? Maryland, what's up? Duval, what's up? Philadelphia, Houston, good. I love to see where you guys are coming from. Milwaukee. It's really humbling to see that all these people just tune in for me all over. What's up, Illinois? What's up, Houston? I appreciate that. Let's see. Barbados is in the house. What's up? Yonkers is in the house. Eating. Greetings from Atlanta. What's up? What's up? What's up? I just ate something myself. What's up? McCobb, Michigan. DC is in the house. Welcome. What's up, Clamp God? Boston's in the house. Maryland, what's up? Listen, y'all, we still got things to talk about. I said, listen, I am so sick and tired of people acting like I can't pivot when the story pivots. Damn it. I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a one-trick pony. I have to be able to talk about stuff. So we're going to talk about it. This is my channel. This is my point of view. So you may agree, you may disagree. You know what I'm saying? Everybody liked the video. Thank you very much. Like the video too. What's up, Layla? I see Miss Linda Gamble's in the house. Welcome. This little community of moderators, they really deserve their flowers, that they're able to make all of our, pretty much almost everybody in the sector uses these guys on some level. So I appreciate that. Let's see, Austin, Texas. Make sure you take the poll at the top and make sure you hit the like button, okay? Sarasota, Florida. What's up? Florida again, Texas again. Pittsburgh. What's up? Norway. I am honored to have you. Let's see. Wichita Falls, Texas, Augusta, Georgia. The 504 is in the house. Okay, y'all, keep hitting the like button. 335 of you are in the house, which means that my like should at least be around 362, correct? If I look at it, it's going to be at least half of y'all, okay? If the other half want to be lazy for a few minutes, that's fine, but I need at least half the likes, which is not, it's not asking for much. Okay. I love your channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Listen, I rarely do this, but I said, you know what? I'm selling myself short. Okay. You and Kempire are my faves. Thank you. I mean, that is high. I mean, Kempire is a big damn deal. So thank you. I appreciate that. Do your thing, Diana. I am, girl. What's up, STL? Nice to have you here. So y'all, listen, I hope you all had an opportunity to watch my video from yesterday because I'm piggybacking off of this video. Okay, let me put it up here so that you can see it. This is the thumbnail for it, okay? This is the thumbnail that I did yesterday. It's called Martell Exposes Himself Trying to Bring Down Marceau and More. And basically, this video was about how Martell presented himself, you know, in them early seasons, how he presented himself to us, how he presented himself as a father, as a friend, as a husband. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought that he would, you know, just this guy that made a little bitty itsy bitsy mistake and he was being punished and punished and punished. But baby, Martell's been telling on himself in a whole lot of ways, okay? A lot of different ways. Let's see. I absolutely loved your video from yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what I said I was going to do is just kind of piggyback off of this. I'm going to do a whole series of where we are now because so much information has come out since this show started, when it was really packaged in a nice, neat, teeny little cute itsy bitsy bow. It's been like so much stuff has been revealed. And even though people have been talking about it along the way, they've been, you know, trying to make a circle fit into a square. You know what I'm saying? We got to walk this shit back and start looking at the bigger picture and literally, you know, giving these people, you know, what we should be talking about them a little differently. Let's just say that. London, what's up, London in the house? We got to, because listen, along the way, even after when you're in something, this is true for all of us. When you are in something and when you're in it, you're in survival mode, right? And then when you have a chance to get out of it, you might be in a place to look back and hindsight is 2020 type kind of thing. But if you are always trying to drive this car the same exact road, never veer left, never veer right, you are as much in the dark as you was when the shit started. So if you are over here, it is because you appreciate the progression. Okay, we're not staying in the messy dark, period. Come on in. We're not staying in the messy dark. That things happen and we gotta pivot. We gotta move with it. We gotta move with it. Okay. So we're talking about Martell specifically because really, as it has been pointed out to all of us, all of these relationships are because of Martell. They were either married to him, friends with him, something, right? You know, a fly by night, one night stand kind of thing. But he is the head and the tail, okay? And I'm not even saying this in a mean way, you know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, you know, after some shit happened on the show, let me do this first. Hold on. Thank you, everybody. Let me look at my likes first. Hold on. Let me do that before I start giving y'all too much. Nope. 418 of you are watching. That's right, baby. Keep hitting it. We need to get over 200. Come on. You can do it. Almost. Y'all really be trying to rob me. Keep hitting that like button. I need at least 211. Come on. Y'all struggling. Keep going. Now we at 451. Keep hitting the like button. 225. And then I'll start. Keep hitting the like button. And make sure you take the poll at the top of the page. Thank you. Oh, child, y'all really be making me work. Y'all be making me work, for Pete's sake. Okay. Thank you all for being here. 455 of you are here. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me. Okay. We are talking about Martell and the crew, Lovemere Tunstall, yet again today. And today's subject, you see it, Martell was already accused on national television of having transactional relationships. That came by way of Miss Dominique. Y'all remember the therapist? This is the court-appointed therapist that both Melody and Martell sees to this day. Okay, she actually counsels with their children. She counsels with the two of them. And I think she also may do some individual therapy. But yeah, Martell had a whole list of things he was supposed to do: individual therapy, therapy with the kids, family therapy as a whole, so that they can get on a better page. But this lady said something very interesting a couple of seasons ago. She had actually sat down with Martell, and he was, I think, late to the appointment. Something that was supposed to happen early in the day. And I think he said that his mother did not refuse to babysit. And he said, I don't know why. I pay all of her bills. I do everything. Like, why is it so hard for me to get her to help me? And she said, listen, you've had this conversation before. You have a transactional relationship with your mother, meaning, he scratched her back, she'll scratch his back, right? And I thought it was interesting because I said he has a transactional relationship with everybody. Okay. This might've been something that he learned very early to get praise or affection or whatever the things may be, but he has transactional relationships. And when he doesn't get what he wants, when he wants it, he loses it. Okay. Come on in, everybody. Let's see. Is a poll the last episode? Oh, the poll from yesterday. I think there was a poll that I sent up yesterday. I don't know if that's what you meant, where I had asked you guys, what was my poll question yesterday? I asked you guys if you wanted Martell and Melody to get back together when you saw them in the first season. And the majority of you said yes. It was like astounding. It was the difference between the other choices was huge. A lot of you said yes. Yes, I wanted past tense, Melody and Martell to get back together or get together, mend their relationship and work it out, basically work it out. When you first saw them in first season, and because of that, because we were, kind of mesmerized by their family and how they had really strong chemistry, that a lot of people missed some of those red flags. Okay, let me take Dominique down. Child, she was on the show. That's why I put her picture up. She was on the show. I did look up some of her background, and she has an amazing background, by the way. I don't care how she's dressed. She has an amazing background, and she's called on for a lot of things. Okay. Come on in. But we are talking today, since she had made that comment, I went, well, damn it, let's start looking at this friendship real quick. And I asked y'all a poll question that I'm going to get the answer for right now. Let's see. At the top of the poll, 320 of you have voted already. I said in season 7, Melody actually sat down with Nell Fletcher, and she told her that Martell wants her to what? Actually, I can put this on the screen. Hold on. Okay, can y'all see that? Okay, I said that Martell wants her to get back together for the kids, okay, which is 53% of you guys. The other one was fail so that she can come back home. 39% of you chose that one. And the last choice was find another man and move out of Huntsville. 8% of you chose that one. The correct answer is the middle one. She told Nell Fletcher that he wants me to fail so that I can come back home. wants her to fail so that she can come back home. Okay? So y'all see that? I think I got it up here twice, but y'all see it. It was the middle one. It was the middle one. And I said all of that to say, oh, let me get my little thing up here. What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Bam, I was right. Bam, I was right. Yeah, she actually said that he prays for my downfall so that I can come back to him. He prays for my downfall so that I can come back to him. So let's talk about that, because Marceau said in a live the other day, I think it was a live, or actually it was on the TV show, that Martell used to be on top of the world. Martell used to be on top of the world. You know, the sun shined on Martell's ass, shined on his bottom. And he was the man. And he said this before, you know, I think he said something on the TV show, actually, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, that he used to drive a Lamborghini and he'd pull up at a red light. This is a very small town, right? And women would know who he was and scream his name like he was a celebrity before they were even on this TV show. Before they were even on this TV show. That's how he lived. Okay. And even though a lot of people say Melody is the money. She's the money maker. She was this, she was that, she was that. Melody didn't say that in the beginning. She didn't. She actually said Martell was her partner. She gave him credit for being her partner, even when she was in review or interviews. And I think the last one I saw was like a radio interview. She never discounted Martell's contribution to whatever their success was, ever. I've never heard her say it. Now, if she said it recently, I don't know. But when I've heard her in the past, when the show first started, and even after the divorce, I never heard her discount their success or say, it was all me. You know what I'm saying? It was all me. He didn't do shit. He was living off of my money, blah, 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 blah. I never heard her say that, ever. But people started, looking at their relationship and the balance of things and saying, well, Melody's successful now, Martell isn't. So that means he was always a bum and Mel was taking care of him. I guess that's maybe what y'all saying. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. Mel was to be nice. I don't think that Mel says a lot, right? She says that she would like for a man who is taller, a man who likes music. When she was going through her list of things, she never said, I want to make sure I get a man who I don't have to pay for. Like, she's never said it still. And I would say she hates the man's guts at this point. She has openly said, I wish that I didn't choose you as my kid's father. So I would think it would take nothing to say that, right? I would think that it would take nothing to say that part, but she's never said it. Even though social media runs with that narrative, that's not something she's ever said. And I think the first time I actually heard that part was maybe on Dr. Heavenly's channel in a review. She said something like, I think you was the one who was doing all the work, Melody. And she didn't even respond to her. She didn't say, yeah, well, she didn't give her any of that. Okay. Look, she's always covered for him, Jacqueline. I want you to keep this in mind, because we're going to talk about all these people and their relationship to Martell, because y'all be giving people hell when y'all don't like that somebody's, compliments Martell, or they might still be too close to Martell. Is it they, or is it all of them? Because even last year, Melody's manager was on different channels talking about, what did she say? There's a lot we haven't said, or some shit like that, in a way that was suggesting they still may cover some of his nasty ass actions, some of the nasty things that he does. And even now, she just brings it out bit by bit. You know what I'm saying? Bit by bit. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. We have to keep that shit in mind. That's all I'm saying. But let's talk about this transactional relationship, because Martell really believes that he was the money, right? He says it all the time. I was a provider. I to this day, he says it. I provided for my family. For whatever reason, him saying that he takes care of his mother, that he takes care of who, the baby mama. I think he pays for her household. That's what she said anyway. And he pays for his own household. 3. Okay. And I told y'all the other day, if y'all listened to a different video I did, I said, if y'all would have listened to that girl, she told y'all she wasn't on welfare, even though a lot of people were putting that out there, that she wasn't on welfare because he would have to be on the child support in Alabama, period. Alabama does go after the daddies, and Martell is, you know who he is. Even if Melody failed, she wasn't going back home. So let's talk about the transactional relationships, starting with the first transaction with these friendships, okay? Again, if y'all missed my video from yesterday, welcome everybody. That's what I should say first. Welcome to the platform. If you missed my video from yesterday, this is the thumbnail, and I called it Martell Exposes Himself while trying to bring down Marceau. So I was telling you that he decided to take off the veil. But you guys, Martell he does have a lot of friendships where he was carrying some people, correct? Because a lot of you feel this way, like he may have carried Marceau and Tisha when they were at a low point, right? People say it was Melody, but as y'all have pointed out, they weren't Melody's friends. So we got to kind of think about this in a realistic way. Because that's the hang up sometimes when people be trying to speak in a rational way that, connects the dots. We will be like, no, it was Mel. I need Mel. How are you helping people like that if you didn't consider them a friend? Even Mel said, I don't know anything about the Sculpt business per se. I did help with getting them some of those early contracts, but I didn't know anything about the books, the bookkeeping. I didn't do anything with that. I didn't ask about the day-to-day operations. She did lend her mother, who was receiving a paycheck check over there, to get certain things done. But she was, sometimes she'll pull herself out of stuff, but the audience will pull her back in, child. And I be dying when I see that. I be dying, laughing my ass off. But so her mother, from what I'm understanding, was there to help clean some shit up. I guess files were out of order. They were real messy with how they were handling things. And she went in to do the bookkeeping part and to keep them on track, different projects and things. So it sounded like it was a bustling business for a while. I'm not for sure when they went into business together. I'm assuming it would have had to been around 2014 or 15. We know that Martell has a relationship with them in college, right? The boys, the Scott brothers, he had a relationship with them in college. Sounds like they used to do some interesting things in college. They used to be the male pass-arounds in college. Let's call them a pass-around. They were shareable pass-arounds at the time, okay? They shared too, you know what I'm saying? But then maybe the friendship probably went away for a month, a year, whatever. Mel and Martell get married. They meet back up again in 2014. The Scotts and the Holtz, then Holtz. And now they got this business partnership, Sculpt, right? They also do this comeback group. So they're in business together in a lot of different ways. They're in business together, or at least trying to do business together. And Melody liked them so much that she was filming like little videos, confessionals and stuff, and trying to shop it around for a reality TV show. And Kimmy and Maurice and Marceau and Tisha were in it. They were that close, right? They were that close. Melody had these big dreams of, moving beyond Huntsville. And Martell was helping her do it with his little set of friends. So they were very close at one point. Then we have this 47 acres. This looked like it may have been one of the thorns in Marceau and Tisha side, okay? Sorry about that. I was reading them comments. This might have been a thorn in Marceau and Tisha's side, this 47 acres, which they did share on the show. They talked about on the show. And what we find out, I'm not sure how long Martell and Marceau were in business, but it sounds like it was kind of quick. It sounds like it was a very sensitive situation that may have came and went. But they also had this 47 acres that they already discussed on the show. It was land that Marceau found. This is not a debate. They've all agreed to this. Land that Marceau found. Land that Marceau also found financing for. So he had found the financing for it. He had found the actual property. They had all decided as a group in that comeback group that they were not going to move forward with the 47 acres. They said, no, we didn't want it. And this is where things get a little murky and where feelings might have gotten a little hurt. Hold on. But Diana, he's not friends. So that's why I'm walking it backward. We're walking it backward to before they even got on the show. Before they even got on the show, they were friends. I don't care if this is what they want to say now. That's why I'm saying friends come in, different ways. That's why I have transactional relationships at the top. Martell accused of having transactional relationships, but these people were friends at one point. I don't think any of you would do these things for people that you did not call a friend. Do this for each other. Imagine you even filming, you know what I'm saying? This person has a dream to be, on TV, and you need me to come to your garage and film for what? I'm not doing that. You don't have to worry about that. I'm on my way. Remember Marceau, or somebody tells a story about how Marceau and Tisha didn't show up for filming. They had hired a film crew, and Melody got upset and said, well, you're just not going to be a part of the show. Well, there was no show. There was no show. This was all just a dream in her head at the time, but it was very real to her. And for the ones that it wasn't real to, they laughed like, child, we're in Miami. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. They're laughing. They're moving on like, okay, that's fine. We don't have to ever film, right? But that's the shit that happens. And that's what happened at the time. Okay. But hold on. Let me get to this land, child, because people are on different sides of the fence for it. They found it. They voted it down. We're not going to move forward with it. This is what is shared on the show. What ends up happening is that Mel and Martell said, it's actually a good deal. And they moved forward with purchasing the land and using the finance group or whatever that Marceau had, found. But it sounds like there may have been little communication about it. So Martell didn't say to Marceau, I know that we voted this land down. But Melody and I are going to buy this land anyway. So that conversation didn't happen. And for the Scotts at the time, they said that was a problem for us because we had already decided we weren't going to move forward with it. And then you guys ended up taking it for yourself. Well, Melody and Martell said, listen, even if we decided to move forward with it, we were the ones who was going to put our name on the contract anyway. We were the ones that were going to sign on the dotted line for it. So y'all voted it down, and we just decided to pick it up. And that became a little bit of contention for this group. So much so that the comeback group literally said, I mean, that beginning, first season, second episode, this is what they talked about as the reason why this friendship group kind of went south. This was one of the things they discussed for why the relationship would have went south. What we end up finding out in later seasons, like the 9th season and the 7th season, is that the husbands also played a role in it. Marceau, according to Melody, she said, me and Tisha would still be cool if it wasn't for your ass. And then Tisha ends up saying the same thing to Martell in the last episode. Me and Melody fell out because of you. So they both feel like the husbands interfered with their friendship. But for the comeback group, they thought that there was trust that was broken there. This is when Melody is kind of dogging Kimmy, saying, Kimmy thinks she's somebody, damn it, mama. She's old enough to be my mama, but she's not my mama. Like, there was all kinds of shots being thrown. Melody calling Kimmy just a little dumb for hanging around and waiting for Maurice for 7 years, the whole thing, right? Now, which side of the fence you guys may be on, it does not matter, okay? It doesn't matter. The comeback group does not exist now. The 47 acres do not exist anymore. They did not sell it. It sounds like it may have gone into bankruptcy, if I am not mistaken, because we know that their bankruptcy information came out, I think, by way of the Sun Times or something like that, one of those gossip magazines or rags. They published it. They said that Martell had over $1 million and something in debt. And the biggest debtors were two banks. And my assumption would be that the banks were the ones that financed the 47 acres. We also know that Melody has already come out and confirmed. I also had to file for bankruptcy because Martell filed for bankruptcy. And I didn't want it to fall on me. So the 47 acres they have already shared does not exist anymore. They didn't get anything from it. They weren't able to sell it. It went. Okay. Yeah, I know that Fletcher had something to do with still building out plots on the 47 acres, but Melody did not receive any type of profit. Martell didn't receive any type of profit. It sounds like it all went into bankruptcy, just like the houses may have gone into bankruptcy. Okay. So anyway, let's start there. So we know that there was at least two things that created friction in this friendship group. One, and when I tell you guys all the time, this show started as a fractured friendship group in a fractured marriage or marriages. That's what I mean, damn it. Okay. I said that from the jump. We started it this way, which was okay. It was a great recipe for, trying to see how they would figure things out. But that's how it started. And those were the two things that they brought to the table as being a problem. And not even I'm going to tell you this, we didn't even learn that the men may have had a part in Tisha and Melody's breakdown until season 7. That's when we first heard that shit. Melody saying it to Marceau across the table, you're the reason. And then again with Tisha, that was the first time they'd ever played it. And so now that I have that information, I'm going to use it to my benefit because I like to, figure out how these stories and things work. That's just me. That's just me. But, and the men are always the reason. Yeah, but listen, these ladies may have bumped heads with each other because their husbands were telling them things about the other spouse or the other couple to keep heat off of them. That's what it sounds like right now anyway. And so they did a lot of protecting of that conversation. Or if the conversation was had on the show, it was edited out so that, it didn't look as fractured as it actually is. Because we don't know what editing actually did when it was happening. What we do know is that in first season, when Melody and Tisha are at that table, I think they're at the cabin with Cedric and his wife and all the other couples, when that's happening, and Tisha saying, I never had infidelity in my marriage. It's Melody who turns her entire back to Tisha, snickers, and then turn back around like, bitch, you lying, right? So all of those moments was happening on TV, right? And that was giving us information about, oh, okay. I mean, Tisha lying about whether or not there was infidelity in her marriage. It doesn't matter. She didn't have to tell you the truth. Martell and Melody was telling us in the scene, okay? She was giggling like, girl, I can't take it, okay? All of that shit was playing out before our very eyes, child. You didn't have to hear it from the horse's mouth. You heard it from everybody else, okay? You heard it already, Okay. It never started out as Black excellence. I hate the word Black excellence for anything. I told y'all, Black excellence is just one of those weaponized terms people use, like Black on Black crime. Everybody, okay, if you wake up this morning, you breathing, you Black girl, child, go on ahead, be excellent, okay? You could be a high school dropout, get your GED at 65. That would be considered Black excellence. We have to recognize that sometimes people put these little titles on things that's not really that. And there's no real definition for Black excellence anyway, other than do your best. Damn, do it. Do your best. Okay. Is anybody worried about their health? Is a question we should be asking. Okay. Yes, it's love and marriage. It's love and marriage. And these people were they did have businesses, right? They did have businesses. They were entrepreneurs. They still are. And they're still trying to make it happen, but they're young, beautiful people with families. Okay. Sometimes it can be bad for us. In this case, the way we say, I wanted to go back to Black excellence. When? When was the show? Listen, the show, and I'm not even dogging the show because I like the show. I do. I like the show. What they have all put on the table, child, for all of us to discuss ad nauseum, child, is I think it's good. I think that they've done some good things. And when this shit is off the air and nobody's watching it anymore, if they have, the guts to watch it back, because sometimes it's hard to watch yourself on this stuff, I hope they're able to laugh at it and say, oh my God, I was this young and this silly. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in the moment and doing it, you look back at it in a completely different way. You look back, think about it, right? Muhammad Ali, when that question every time he would get, like, did you know that you were doing X, Y, and Z for, the movement and changing your name to Muhammad Ali and all that stuff? He said, I know what the hell I was doing. And I feel that's the same here. You don't always know what you're doing when you're doing it. You just move to do it. And then when you look back on it, you're like, wow, did I do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Did I do that? We have to keep that in mind. Let's see. You can't have Black excellence and want to shoplift. You can't have Black excellence and want to shoplift. See, that's what I'm talking about. That phrase right there, that's all you need to know to stop saying the word Black excellence, because people, we all fall down, but we should just get the hell back up. There's stuff that all of us do that we are not proud of. And if there was someone behind us every 5 seconds saying, girl, you ain't Black excellence, you've been went to jail, child. Okay. We all fall down. We all fall down. We all do stuff. We all fall in love with people we probably shouldn't have fell in love with. We all make decisions that may not have been the best for us at the time. It's about how we move forward. Okay. But you can't keep stuff over people's head, especially shit that happened back in the day. You can't get back up if you deny ever falling down. You got to just, you know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff is stuff that people received as content to spread across these united YouTube streets. To spread across these united YouTube streets. And at the end of the day, you still don't even know the full story. You still don't even know the full story. You know what they want you to know to make somebody else look bad. But the truth of the matter is, every single person on that show, their shit stinks. They all do. They all have smelly boo-boo. Okay? Every single one. Not one of them smells like a rose. But back to the subject. So transactional relationships. So this is the first thing. So what we're learning right now in this situation is that Martell was a person who had it like that. Martell is someone who had it like that. And then let's talk about how some of this shit started spilling out onto YouTube, okay? How it started spilling out into YouTube first season. first season, not second, third, fourth, or fifth, the first season. If y'all remember, if you're new, I'll try to help as much as I can. But I believe it was in first season. There was a particular person who, we'll call her Ariane because the shit's already out there. Either first or second season, who started feeding a YouTuber all of the Scott's dirt. All of it. Everything that we are hearing right now that Martell has been talking about, doing this at Credit One and all this other shit. All of that started going onto this particular YouTuber's channel. And a lot of people were trying to figure out why, like, where's this coming from, right? Everything from the multiple girls, allegedly, to the brothers hooking up with the one girl. Every one of those stories that people are hearing right now was playing out on that channel back to back to back to back. Okay. To the point of where at one point I said, is Marcel leaking these stories? Like, who would do this? Who would leak this story like this? It was so crazy. I forgot the last time I heard it, but I said, I don't even want to talk about this on this level. And this is not to say anything about the YouTuber, okay? Her name was, Original Straight No Chaser. But this is nothing bad about her. She was doing her job on YouTube. She was releasing whatever these stories are. She has since come out and said, listen, every damn story I received, every story I received came from Ariane. Now y'all know, okay? She also accused Melody and Martell of giving her stories initially. She had a Facebook group where these two ladies had a group called, I think it was Original Straight No Chaser in the group. This is a story that they've shared before, I believe. Most recently, I think they may have shared it last year, like early last year or sometime in 2023, late 2023. But they talked about it all the time. She literally just released, I shouldn't say literally just released, but she released that it was Ariane who was spilling the tea to them, to her. If it wasn't early 2024, I feel it was late 2023. Okay? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, I got Siri talking to me. Hold on, child. Okay, so when everybody's like, well, what's going on? Because even the Scotts, I was watching their pages when all this shit was coming out. They were saying it too. Like, I guess the girl must have contacted them, or maybe they contacted her, because all of the videos are gone. She's not doing that. She's not doing YouTube anymore. But they were like, listen, we know everything. We know everything. This was all last year. This could have been the reason why Marcel was like, fuck Martell. Because I think it may have happened all before he came on and had that interview with Dustin, where he says, I don't respect Martell. I don't respect Martell. I thought we were friends. I tried to have his back. I gave him money when he needed money, all of those things. But when that stuff came out, I remember Kimmy coming online. I probably still have those receipts, and I'm going to find them, and I'm going to post them. I should have had them before now, but I am going to find my receipts. They're in my phone, child, my black phone, and I got to put them out there. But I remember Kimmy saying the pictures of Tisha's house was all done by, I don't know if she said Melody or Martell, the pictures of the house. They put all of our business out there. They were giving all of this stuff to the bloggers and to the YouTube. And I said this the other day when I was talking on one of my videos, and I remember somebody saying, where did you get this from? This is where I'm getting it from. It was all over YouTube at the time. And I don't know who's true, who's right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the Scotts believed it. They probably still do believe it. Every member of the cast has fed info to the bloggers. I'm giving y'all this transactional relationship from season 1. Okay, you are absolutely right. Every single member of the cast has fed the bloggers something at some point. Facts, no joke, right? We all know that. We're not that slow. But when all of this shit was hitting the blogs and everybody was running, with the information that the Scott boys were whores and that they were cheating on their wives and they were doing this at this place and they were doing things together. Um, it was coming from that particular channel. I don't think that that's bad to say. And I don't have any problems with her either whatsoever, because there were some stories that she shared that I talked about. Just at some point, I was just like, whoa, this is interesting. She was also the one who had broke the story about Ariane's daughter being talked to by Children's Services. And that was before Martell had actually come out and said that he had been, away from his kids for 56 days and he was under investigation. So before that actually happened, that story had broken her channel, and it was that Ariane's daughter had been interviewed. And even now, because I just heard that, that story again, and she's like, she called it, actually saying that Melody called. And then when we were able to hear the bigger picture, anybody who knows how this works, if you have children and you're in that child's company, every child has to be interviewed. Every child has to be spoken to make sure that there was no issues or problems. And it's kind of scary that you can have kids and not know how that works. But, it's life. Shit happens. In this situation, every single thing was rolling out, including stuff about Melody, like all of these things, right? And when I say Martell is the head and the tail, I mean it, because we all know from disclosing before Melody had ever said, listen, I have COVID, Ariane disclosed it. All of these things kept going on and on and on and on and on. And so it can create a situation where, and I'm saying this as someone who is online, right? So I know I'm online, and I have to assume that if you're working on a TV show and you see your information coming out like that, it makes you really, really paranoid. It will make you really, really paranoid. I don't even know how else to explain it except for that, but it will make you paranoid. And you react to things. We just saw Melody a couple of months ago get on her tickety talking about someone called my son's phone and I need somebody to find the last 4 digits. Your mind is operating in a space where you're like, who's doing this to me? You know what I'm saying? So you're automatically thinking, this has to be Ariane, and I know it's this person because this is the type of shit she does. You know what I'm saying? Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I said all of this to say, before some of this other ugly shit was coming out, according to the Scotts, when this other ugly stuff was happening and we could see it play out on the show, they said that it was Martell who was telling them that it was Melody who was doing it to them. Do y'all remember that? They said, Martell told us it was Mel. Who remembers that? Put that in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard it that way. You see how easy it is to manipulate these people's relationships and keep like drama and all that shit going? What's up? Speak with your girl, Marcella. Hey, come on in. I'm only saying this because we got to get on the same page eventually. Because, child, we are all over the fucking place when it comes to these people's stories. The Scott stories, whether it was true or false, we don't even know when the timeline is for some of the stuff that Martell has been saying, because the video or that interview that he recently released seemed like it was a long time ago, like a long, long time ago. So we don't know if these stories are from college or when, but the truth of the matter is Martell was feeding this to Ariane, who was feeding this to the bloggers. And because Martell was still friends with the Scotts, She was actually saying, do not talk about anybody in my damn chat. Why would you do that? Don't do that, y'all. Because you know what happens? Y'all was just praising Martell the other day. Don't do that, please. Please let everybody rock over here. Because I'm going to tell you something. The way people talk about me or allude to me and their little commentaries, and they are as nasty as possible. I ain't never seen that one of y'all take up for me. So don't do that. Don't do that at all. But Martell literally was blaming Melody for it. And they actually said that shit on the show. They said it on the show. And that is how it started. That is how it started. Okay? You got banned from the group. I got banned from the group for talking badly about Martell. Not from my group. Nobody's gotten banned from my group. I'm just saying to you guys, this is the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I need for the people that follow me to be on the same page as me when I'm talking about these stories, because this is how I recall it. No, not yours. Okay, this is how I recall it. This is the stuff that's playing out on our TV screens right now. And I think the Scots even said it. He said on Sunday, or whenever he went live, he said, I used to think it was Melody, or he said, I ain't trying to talk about anybody, but then, we found out it was Martell and all this other stuff. Tennessee girl, don't even worry about it, child. Don't even worry about it. Let's just keep punching. All I'm saying is, All I'm saying is, we ain't swatting at anybody over here. Leave it alone. But at the end of the day, the story that I am telling y'all is that while everybody thought that the Scots was punching, they were getting punch, and there was somebody feeding them the punch story. And Melody has a meeting or whatever, the sit down with Martell in Destin, and she says to Martell, you are the reason. You are the reason everybody comes after me. Remember that? You are the one who puts the battery in their back. Do y'all remember that shit? And this is why the show sometimes always feels like it's going like back and forth like this, because we don't, as an audience, stick with the actual story. There's so much happening on both sides that we don't stick with the story. I try to stick with the story. So if you're following me, this is a story that I tell. This is the perspective I come from. She said it to him in his face. There was a couple of things she said into his face. Number one, when she was like, I need for the grandmas and for the kids to sit at another table, we're going to sit at this table. She looked like she wanted to throw up in her mouth. But then she said, before we start, did I suck your bleep or nah? Okay. And he was like, what are you talking about? Oh my God, stop. She went, nope. Answer the question. Did I or no? And he was like, yes. She was like, exactly. Like, I remember her getting vindicated. She needed to be vindicated about whether or not she did that. I was like, oh, damn, not the hook and the curve, child. But she made him say that on TV. And then she said, now what the do you want, Martell? And by the end of it, she said, you're the reason. You're the reason for all of my relationships going south with these people. You're the battery in the back. It's you. It's you. Okay? It's you, sir. I remember it. So honestly, we got to stay on track, child. They give us a lot of information, but we got to stay on track with this shit. Have they done things to each other? 1000%. But there is one person, and we can't act like Ariana is some sort of psychic fucking friend. That girl tells everything that's told to her, whether it's on purpose or by accident. We can't assume it's by accident because he still talks. We can't assume it's by accident. She still talks. He still tells us stuff. She's still talking to bloggers. Till this very day, we are watching it with our own two peepers. Let's talk about this. I remember Melody said that Couldn't even handle it for real. She said that to Tisha. She said that to Tisha when they were on another trip. I think it was the Houston trip. And she was in the pool and she was like, he ain't never made me. Okay. And Tisha was like, say what now? Like, girl, what are you talking about? She said, nope, nope, nope. And then she said, she told them that he couldn't even handle it for real. She said, at the end of the day, I was doing it every day. He couldn't even fucking handle it. I mean, and then we hear from Ariane. She said he on TV telling people that he is with me because I do X, Y, and Z to him. She went, he won't even let me. He won't even let me. Oh my God. Talk about crying real tears. Jesus. Yeah, he wouldn't even let Mel talk dirty, or he won't talk dirty to her. Child, let's talk about it. Keep these people's storyline on effing track. We be getting off track to the point of where people literally crash out and cuss you out, and they be doing all kinds of dumb shit. They doing that in the chat. They'll do it in your comments. They calling people's jobs. We got to keep this stuff on track. We're smarter than this. We are smarter than this. But the fact of the matter is, Martell was the one doing this shit, and it's been pointed out. And before we even knew that, we kind of assumed it. Like, who is she getting it from? I remember being told by one of my followers, because I remember saying, "Where's all this shit coming from?" And the follower actually told me, "It's Ariane. That's Ariane's girl." I was like, "Oh, that's how I knew." From one of the followers. So you guys knew before me. The sub knew before me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on the platform. The sub was like, girl, she been doing this shit since, 2020. I was like, oh, I had no idea. But yes, when we're talking about Martell trying to break the Scotts up and that relationship up, it's been happening since the day his divorce was final. He has been doing this for a minute. So when we're watching this now and him, I can't believe Tisha, like you, because again, people wanted Martell to be the person he presented himself to be at the beginning. He's not the person he presented himself to be. Sometimes we got to let the stuff play out on the show. Because literally when all that crazy stuff comes out, it will stunt these stories from coming out and playing out the way they're supposed to. I see you. AC said that her and Martell may have done things that might have gotten them locked up. Facts. Now just imagine that you have all this information. Just imagine you got all this information. However the Scotts were sat down, or however this discussion was had, where they're like, damn, all of this stuff is coming out, and now they're trying to get their story out and say, listen, y'all are believing this shit on YouTube. Did it happen? We don't know. Most people believe that Marcel and Maurice cheat anyway. Most people believe it. But at the end of the day, what's the timeline for some of this stuff? We didn't even get a timeline for half of it, and people were believing it. Was it back in college? Is it, like within the last 2-3 years, when people were saying, why don't these women come out and say anything? Like, we were trying to figure it out. You're sorry you believe the Scotts knew this before now. Knew what before now? Tell me what you're saying. I'm not saying that the Scotts didn't know. I told y'all back either in 2023 or 2024 is when they had come out and said, we got all the tea. We know who was doing what. But I also told y'all early 2024 that it felt like Marceau was forming an alliance with Melody, and they were all getting cooler, right? Melody was telling y'all, we are more cordial. We are talking to each other. Tisha was calling for advice. Y'all have no idea what happened behind the scenes that got them there. We just kind of attack people and beat them up without thinking the whole process through. And I'm just saying this to help. I mean, your feelings are your feelings, but don't come over my shit acting crazy. Martell's representative has now left the building. The real Martell is now showing the veil has fallen. The veil has fallen. Exactly. The veil has fallen because his transactional relationships don't need him anymore. But for Martell, he still wants you to pay him what he thinks you owe. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, with a personality type like that, you know, you never finish paying. You always are putting something into the kitty, right? You always got to pay. Come on in. Hey, Tay-T, thank you. I'm going to give you guys a chance to talk about it a little bit if you want to. I'm just going to give y'all some tea. So this is the transactional relationship part. It gets deep. And I do have copies of those receipts, to be honest. And I'm going to show them to you guys because I don't want you to think that I'm lying. I'm going to find them and post them. I'm just saying, sometimes no, someone asked me if I think that they're giving Alabama courts is giving Melody a rough time because of Hotel's influence. I'm not going to wish that on her at all. I know that if I'm not mistaken, just based on some of the court things that was read online, because I did not read it on my page, okay? They said that there was a guardian ad litem who was representing the children, and that's the children's lawyer. The children's lawyer does not work on behalf of Melody. It does not work on behalf of Martell or the judge. Their best interest is the kids. And even though all of that stuff came out about this, that, and the other, nobody really read the part about where the kids said, we want to be with our father. So they were really, for all of those hours that person put in with those children, seeing them, you know, at game, at practice, at school, at church, you do these pop-ups to see if their, you know, demeanors change, if they're happy, if they're sad, if they're telling you the truth. And then you got 4 kids. And so you're going to get a different story from all of them. But all 4 of them said that they wanted to continue a relationship with their father. And the judge, you know, took that into consideration. The judge took that into consideration. So I think that, you know, there's something to be said for that. My assumption is because Melody and Martell have such a contentious relationship, there'll probably always be a guardian ad litem who is a part of that. And this is only if you want to come up. You don't have to. I'm bringing y'all a little food for thought, child. A little food for thought that maybe the Scotts are in a different place, just a little bit, because they found out something different. Thank you. I appreciate you, Erica. R.I.P. to Kiki for sure. R.I.P. to Kiki for sure. Y'all don't have anything to say? It's a lot of information, ain't it? Even when Melody is telling us, listen, we're cordial. We're in a much better place than we were. We had made an agreement. We sometimes, as the audience, we will, you know, the audience might not hear it the same or feel it the same because they're not telling us these other parts of the story. We got to kind of go back in and get them. And Martell does have a transactional relationship with his people, including Melody. I need you to fail so that you can come back. And for as broke as we want him to be, he's paying his household, his mama's household, and his baby mama's household. So he's still taking care of some shit. He really did lose a multi-million-dollar development deal, because I was curious, like, is that fake? It was real. It was real. That's a lot of money. When Chris Fletcher sat across from him and said, your kids could have been set, right? Your grandkids' kids could have been set, and you up this up. That's a nightmare. They got to play in your head like nobody's business. Did you say that the kids said that they wanted? Yes, that was a part of the documents. Someone asked me if I said that they wanted to be with their father. The kids said that. Yes, the kids said that. It was a part of the documentation. The judge actually reads it as a part of the documentation. And I forget whose channel it was on. I want to say Sherelle, but she read that shit. And I was like, okay, well, if the guardian ad litem is the one who made that recommendation, the judge is following that because the guardian ad litem had followed those kids for months. Okay. She was assigned to them. She had to talk to them. She had to take into account what the therapist was saying. There was a whole lot of stuff that went into that. And when Melody had come out and talked about it, you know, everything stayed the same. But I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I understand as content creators, our job is to entertain and share shit. And sometimes you get people riled up and people be punching the pavement and going crazy. They may not tell you all the things, but that was a part of the paperwork, legitimately a part of the paperwork. Meaning splitting time between them both. There was no changes to the custody agreement, no changes. Everything remains the same. The judge said after reading the reports from the guardian ad litem, it is clear these children love their father and their mother, not just father and their mother, and want to be with both. That was a part of the paperwork, the actual documentation. Martell takes care of his mama. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. He takes care of 3 houses. And from what I'm understanding, somebody told me that the mama didn't lose her house because of Martell. It was because of the other brother, because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Okay, that's why when Martell got on Tasha K's channel, you might have heard him say, I love my mama, but my brother can do anything to her and she will forgive him. But me, she holds to a higher standard. She's always, coming after me. Did you hear him say that? He kind of hinted that the brother did something that he got blamed for on social media. Now, that was something that I heard, just a little bit of tea, but I heard it was the brother that somebody shared that with me. Okay, so it's alleged, but someone shared that with me. I heard it was the brother that somebody shared that with me. Okay, so it's alleged. Hi.
Hello. Hi, Diana.
Welcome to the
I really love your commentary. Cause I'm like you. I be looking at it in reality, and then I be listening to different YouTubers and different commentators and looking at the show, and I'm like, are these people seeing the same things I'm seeing? Cause
Well,
people don't.
I mean, we're all going to have a different perspective anyway. Even though I'm sharing this right now, it doesn't mean that everybody agrees with me, but we're all going to have a different perspective on the show. But sometimes we don't go back and get the facts and then work them facts back into our commentary.
That's true. That's so true because when because I've been watching this show since first season. So, um, Martell has always been to me a manipulator. So I was like, people don't see that he's manipulating everybody. Like he always was that type of man from in my perspective. Like I'm looking at him because like I'm from a family with a bunch of males.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been around all different types of males.
Mm-hmm.
And when you experience that, you can pretty much like figure out what type of male this is.
Right. Right. You just have to pay attention. But listen, I totally understand because I'm not saying anything bad because I told y'all yesterday that I was caught up. I was caught up. I was caught up with Martell and Melody's story. I wanted them to fix it. I thought they had so much chemistry. I was like, no, 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 it can't be true. So I was a part of the people.
See, and I wasn't. I
Yeah.
wasn't. No, from the first season, when he was like, to me, he was such a playboy all the time. I always felt like he was a playboy.
Mhm.
So I'm like, he playing her. He playing everybody. You know what I mean? Because he just felt like he had that persona, like I'm that man, and everybody loves me. And I'm like, why?
Listen, we know why. Now we should know why. He was a person who had a lot of power. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of glitz, and he's dressing nice. He wasn't a bad looking guy. You know what I'm saying? He's young. Melody said that they were the it couple. She says that on season 1, first episode. Martell and I
Mhm.
were the it couple. There wasn't anywhere that we would go where somebody wouldn't say, "You are a beautiful family. You have beautiful children." Everything that people saw in person translated on screen, and that's rare. You sometimes people see stuff in person, and when you watch it on TV, it's like, well, it's not the same. It doesn't pick up the same. It picked up even better probably on screen, period. And he just
True.
he didn't know how to stay in his favor.
So as we look, how intelligent do you think Martell is? Like from 1 to 10.
I don't know because I think that Martell puts on different faces for different people, which means, and I've talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think that when I say buys favor, I mean that if I'm the kind of person where if every time, and you may know someone like this, okay? I've experienced this myself. When you are in need of some little thing, or um, somebody that's always there. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I might be late on a bill. Let me do that for you. Let me fix that for you. Um, you always feel like this person is picking up some your slack. You know what I'm saying? And he sounds like the type of person who does that. If he's driving down the street, he sees Kimmy putting groceries away, and he U-turns and helps her put the groceries up. A lot of people will be like, that is a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? That's a gentleman. That's somebody who's going to take care of you. And if that happens a lot, and then something really nasty and ugly happens, he knows himself enough to know, well, when this happens, all the people that I've done something for is not going to believe that part of me. They're not going to believe that. Okay. And that's what he counts on. You know what I'm saying? And we're just speaking in general, really, I should say in general, but that's it. Now all these stories is coming out about Martell, and he's telling some of them, like I said, all the women that he was with. Again, he didn't give a timeline for this, but all the women he was with, we can assume. Um, and at the end of the day, he's pissed as hell that Marceau, because I said this yesterday, the argument at the adult field day, it happened because Marceau said, I don't care. I'm not apologizing to you for what I said about the revenge P, because I know you. I know you. It does not change my mind. That's when he lost his shit, ran to his car to get his phone, and then started tossing out whatever these things are. And if I can't hit you, Marceau, I'm going to hit Tisha. It was about Marceau saying, you are a dirty, nasty, low down dog. I will not take it back. What I said in that interview, do you know it was revenge P? I don't, but it's not, beneath you. That's something you would do. I know you. And you're not going to make me apologize now. That's how the argument truly started. We're making it about something else. Like, oh, well, Tisha should have said this, and Marceau was talking about him, and Marceau's jealous. No, it happened because Marceau said, I don't respect you. And all of that happened around the same time that the tea started dropping about who was the actual person behind all of that, the videos on Original Straight No Chases channel. We don't know what the conversations were behind the scenes.
That's why I agree with you as far as with
I mean,
um
go ahead.
Martell being jealous over Marceau now because you know the big back stuff, that was Maurice and Marceau. So they were always the underdogs, and they looked up to Melody and Martell.
Mhm.
So now the shoe has turned, everything has turned. And now they saying who is looking up to who, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, Melody is still doing her thing, but what are you doing, Martell? What are
What
you doing?
what Marceau said was, Martell used to be up here and he has
Right.
fallen, and it pisses him off that I'm not. He wants me to be where he is. Period. And he wants him to be where he is because he feels he's mad at him. He's mad at him for not saying he's a good guy. He's for not saying he's a good guy and that it had nothing to do with the revenge P.
So Martell really thinks that he is a good guy. Like,
Well, a
why
lot of people
does
say
he
that about.
think that he's such a good guy? Because of his mother always patronizing him? Like she's always patronizing him. Like even when he got mad about her not getting on the stand and telling the judge what he wanted her to tell him, she was like, "I ain't lying for you. I ain't lying for you." But he got mad, and so then after he got mad, she caressed him by saying stuff like, "Oh, but why would she do something like that to you?" Like always pushing it, patronizing, and
They don't have that great of a relationship. I don't think they have that great of a relationship. I think there's some things that play out on television a certain way, but I think that his relationship with his mom is transactional. I think that's just how it's always been. And Melody, even when they were on that boat trip, we could kind of see that when they were on the yacht, we could kind of see that without even giving it any extra. Because at the end of the day, Melody and that lady, they don't even talk anymore. Okay, that was somebody that she said she used to go on vacations with and all those things. They don't have any relationship anymore. So I don't even know if it's that, I don't think that she cares one way or the other about it at this point. But I do know that Martell has transactional relationships with everybody. He puts a little money into the bucket, and then he waits until he needs to cash in. And then he expects for people to do X, Y, and Z. And just so you know, you never ever pay him back. Once he put the money in the bucket, he always feels like when he calls on you, you should be able to come through and do whatever it is that he wants you to do. And that is why I think Marceau has been a little more honest about some things and even saying, listen, because who would have expected him to say this? I've given him money. I've had his back. I've tried to help with X, Y, and Z, and he's just not a friend to me anymore. He's so low that I can't, there's nothing else I can do. So I'm out. I'm out. But I think
so
that,
my
but
thing is,
mhm.
what if Destiny doesn't stay on his side, what he's going to say about her?
We don't know. That's why I said it's transactional. We'll have to see. Destiny feels like Martell has done some things for her. I think she said it just recently on her Messy Mondays that he was there for her when she was at some bad points. So I was actually watching it thinking, this is exactly what he does. You're in some bad spaces in your life. He comes in, he becomes the savior. And then all of a sudden you think that I know his heart kind of shit. He said that, but you know my heart. We don't know your damn heart. Okay, not even you know your heart. So that's the thing. That's why all of this plays out the way it does. It's actually really interesting, but we just
It
got to
is.
some space in between some of it so we can get the real tea child, because it'd be taking forever for this shit to come out. But anyway,
Right, right. Like that's one thing I did agree with Marceau is it's like we're so behind their lives.
We
You
are
know,
behind. Yeah, we're behind.
we're so behind their lives that they have moved so much forward, and we're still, years behind. So
That's true. What
that's
I'm
what we
going
don't
to do,
see.
I am going to actually wrap up now, but you have been
Okay.
amazing. Is your name Patty Sheeta?
Yeah, that's my name is Patty, but
Okay.
my daughter name was Shadia, so I call myself
Yeah.
Patty Shadia.
Okay, Patty Shadida. Shadia, thank you for coming up because I know this was your first time. I appreciate
Okay.
you and hope you come back, okay?
All right. Thank you, and I really appreciate you. And
Sure.
keep us on reality.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, so y'all, that's pretty much it, child. I think that's it for me for this particular part of the series. Tomorrow I will talk about something else, and I will also bring those receipts like I said I was going to do. If y'all can think of anything else that y'all just would like for me to talk about, okay, y'all can send it to me on IG. You can send it to me on my email. All of it is a part of the description, okay? But yeah, let's talk about this and keep this stuff on track. All right. I know that there is, well, I ain't even gonna say that. F it. Okay. You guys have been amazing, though. Thank you to everyone who came over, rocked it out with me this afternoon. Thank you to all of my moderators. Who else? Who else? Who else? Everybody who participated on the chat and everybody who came up on the panel. Thank you, Miss Patty. Outside of that, you guys, I appreciate all of y'all. Follow me on at DYANAROZAY on all my platforms, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.